Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Intercity Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse. Today, Monday, June 2nd, 2025. We're heading in for day 14 of testimony in U.S. versus Sean Combs. Mia, that's a pseudonym, former assistant, and then actually co-founder of Revolt Films in Combs Enterprises, will still be on the stand under cross-examination by Brian Steele. Now, when last we broadcasted, on Friday, Steele was blasting away using previous Instagram posts by Mia to say, wait a second, if you said you were assaulted, why were you still praising him? Her explanation is that she worked there and these were part of her job and she was traumatized. Now, there's a dispute about posting birthday greetings, apparently very enthusiastic she did to Combs, that she didn't post. And they're going to say, well, you see, you can't say this was posting just to promote the company. This was a private thing. We're going to find out, I think, in a few short moments whether this will be shown to the jury. Whether it could be a tempest in a teapot. We'll have to see. Now, going forward in the day, they've said, there's a guy called Enrique Santos. There's a man named Eddie Garcia who will be, the prosecutors say, invoking his Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. He'll get an immunity deal outside of the presence of the jury and then be testifying under subpoena. There's also going to be a custodian of hotel records and a guy to speak about videos and, I guess, authenticating videos. The week will proceed, and we're all over it. We're all over it. Now, there's been some controversy. On Friday, we put out a book, week 3, in part because people are making absurd misuses of saying Intercity Press reported that Brad Pitt testified. No. There was a mention, so I'm thinking it's AI, because there was a mention of Brad Pitt. They were at some premiere of a Brad Pitt film in Cannes, and so maybe it's just an algorithm to pick up names from the trial and then purport that people testified. In any event, you can find it on Google Play. It's Diddy on Trial Week 3, From Capricorn to Mia. But I digress. At the end of that book, we mentioned what happened on Friday in the Oval Office, which Trump was asked about potentially pardoning Diddy, and he said you'd have to look at the facts. He went into a kind of a what do they call it? Yeah, there's a word for it. And he returned to say he doesn't care if somebody supports him or not. He looks to see if they were treated unfairly. And I will, for those who say that it's a misreport to say that he's open to it, there was a pardon last week to a Cincinnati politician who's a Democrat, never supported Republicans at all. So I don't take it as you may. In any case, it's a thing that's out there. And this now connects to these 2 crypto cases here in SDNY. One is called Samourai. Samourai was the company, and Rodriguez is the defendant. And the other one is Roman Storm and Tornado Cash. Now, you'd think that these cases would be dropped, not just because of the administration's position on crypto, but because there's a FinCEN memo saying that what they did may not be illegal. But that's not, the Tornado Cash, that memo is not giving rise to new discovery. And there's a motion to dismiss in the Samourai case. So we're covering that. Now, the UN, of course, we've put in a lot of questions. Antonio Guterres is totally corrupt. You've got to check this guy out. But there's another guy we don't report on much, who's called Volker Turk. He's the head of the UN Human Rights. Now, I knew him because he was kind of a staffer for Guterres when I was reporting on the UN, and when I was thrown out of there, he did nothing. And he's not a human rights guy at all. But he's actually a self-serving guy. We've received over the weekend from UN staff of his that he's not only trying to impose cuts, but his idea is to move significant operations to Austria, where he's from, and also to run for office in Austria. So you have somebody using public funds for public gain. Now, we've asked questions to you, and they won't answer them, but you can check it out yourself. We're going in, Intercity Press, to be continued.